is the North End. This is the North End.
Okay there, football fans, welcome back to another episode, another example of fine football analysis here at the North End. Villa game has recently finished in the last 45 minutes, and we're going to get straight into tearing this apart because JP California needs a break because he's going to have an aneurysm after that game, and he's currently filing lawsuits against top six favoritism, he believes. So there we go. I'm a little bit more calm, although I'm pretty raging. So we're going to get straight into this. This is Aston Villa 3, Liverpool 3. An incredible game to start the week as we round out a very impressive season. Aston Villa picking up a last-minute point, all by securing a Champions League spot. Tottenham now need 2 wins from their next 2 games to match the points to win. Villa need, I think, 1 more draw, and that would see us through as long as goal difference go our way. We never want to say we're there, regardless. I'm just going to say if we don't get this, it doesn't matter. It's been a great season. Watching Emery celebrate that equalising goal, the first one, is enough to make me a lifelong Unai Emery fan. Without doubt, if he does not win Manager of the Season, it is an absolute disgrace. I don't care about Pep. Pep's done great things, no doubt in my mind. You could give a monkey $1 billion team, and he'd probably win some silverware. You know, Pep can manage personalities. I will give him that. He has changed how players play. I will give him that. But I'm sorry, Unai has taken a team that was in relegation, literally brink of relegation under Steven Gerrard, and in the same season is on the brink of a top 4 finish and a Champions League place, the first time in God knows how long. I should have that information, but off the top of my head, I don't. So, anyways, the game, number 1. I'm just going to go through points. It's going to be hard to do a good, bad, the ugly, but I'm just going to tear into this. Number 1, I'm sick to death. I've had enough. I don't want to see it again. And we have to force change on VAR next year. It is single-handedly sucking the life out of games. It is making an absolute mockery of the football that we are watching, and it's making a mockery of the fans. And it is also unnecessary to the point that it's taking so long to make decisions. We've seen it in other leagues. We saw it in Germany, in was it the Champions League the other week. Decision, VAR, 20 seconds, 15 seconds, done, move on. Okay, we can handle that. Our decisions taking sometimes upwards of 2.5 to 3 minutes, sometimes longer. I'm sorry, that is just disgraceful. And today was another fine example of drawing lines where they see fit. Now, you could argue, and maybe I'm a bias, maybe there's a Villa bias, and I'm sorry if there is. But I think every team this season has an issue with VAR. Every team has felt wrongly done in certain moments. Some teams more than others, i.e. Nottingham Forest. Way to handle that one. But at the end of the day, something has to change because it is getting out of hand. As if VAR wasn't bad enough, we're going to talk about refereeing. I think Simon Hooper was taking this game today, and my God, was there bad decisions. I think in the first 20-25 minutes, John McGinn was probably hacked 3 times. Now, were they completely, life-threatening injury tackles? No, they weren't. But were they enough in the current system and the current way that we're booking and reffing games for them to justify a booking, i.e. a yellow card? They absolutely were. Luis Diaz going over the top on a play, going for the ball. Again, I will always feel for the player because I've played my whole life, right? And I think the game's gone soft. However, when the foot is up and you come down straight on another player's foot, obey the rules of the game right now, it has to be given as a yellow. So if 2 or 3 yellows are given out in the first 20-25 minutes, the dynamic of this game changes. We're at 1-1, sloppy from Villa. I won't take away from Liverpool, we'll come back to that. But the refereeing was just diabolical. Now I know, I will say in his favour, let the game play. He tried to play and continue the game. That's what you want from a referee. But there's numerous times when he did allow and the ball then came to a stop and he didn't bring it back to where it should have been brought back to. John McGinn was furious. And lucky, McGinn is that Scottish Terrier in him. You got to love him for it, but when he sees red, he sees red. And the moment that transition is made, he's not coming out of that. He was lucky, absolutely clattered Gakpo. And the poor fella was probably crying out for a softer experience in the Netherlands. But yeah, you can't be having those refereeing decisions. It's a disgrace. And when you've got Liverpool fans, i.e. Azaz here at the North End, saying, "Hey man, I get it. I can easily see those given." It's not me saying, "Hey, Liverpool are giving all the decisions." No, not at all. Things have gone against them this season. I fully agree, but this was out of hand. So between those two, we put ourselves into a terrible position. Now, not to take away from Liverpool, wonderful use of the ball, very dangerous counter-attacking, and they've got something to play for. They say they haven't, but at the end of the day, they're still playing for that end of Klopp, seeing him out in the way that they want to see him out. And I don't think it was a bad performance. However, I don't think it was a great performance. And I think Villa, again, showing the problems that we have defensively. We are so light in that central kind of defending and also in front. Obviously, injuries are terrible. Losing Kamara, losing players like that has been a real problem. Yuri Tillemans has really stepped up. I've been very impressed with him. Douglas Luiz has gone absolutely AWOL for the last, 2 months. Might be worth checking their relationship status. Again, not saying someone shouldn't be happy, but you know what? Sometimes relationships that aren't always the best and don't always add to us, maybe take away. Not saying it, just looking at correlations and going, well, there it is. But as we've said before, causation, correlation, not the same thing. However, there is a problem there. But what is apparent, Villa are really weak in those positions. And with injuries, we have to be wary of this. A lot of Villa fans talking about Tyrone Mings is coming back. He's over the age of 30. He has not one but two ACL reconstructions behind him, plus other injuries. We have to really kind of, calm our expectations for Tyrone here, because I see him coming back. I see him being involved. I think he's a great leader, and I really love him, but I don't think he starts. I really don't think he starts. And we need another left back because Digne is looking pretty tired. Good performance, but with no Moreno. We need one more consistent there, but I think really Matty Cash on the right needs some support. We need to kind of find that up, and obviously having to play Konza there, he can play that position, but I think it's wasted. I think he's much better in a central role. Carlos should be a rotating defender. I don't think he's done enough right now to be a starting defender. Sorry, Diego, huge fan of you, but I think that's where your strength is. Honestly, I'm going to say it. Callum Chambers came on, looked like a great addition. And I really think he should be getting more of a look in. Not starting, but again, coming on, chasing balls. I thought he did a great job. He's a very versatile player. He's played in a number of positions. And I think he brought play back a number of times for us. And it led on. We cannot take away from the young Colombian inspiration. Not the reborn Juan Pablo Angel. But he's definitely something. John Duran, looking like the business today, came on. Phenomenal goal for the second. And a very lucky goal for the third. But you know what? Not to take away from how hard he came on and how strongly he was working. So great stuff. But on a whole, I just want to see a game in the Premier League that is refereed properly. And that is given a fair flow with VAR. Because right now, it's such a mess. And it is sucking the life out of football. I've played since I was 5 or 6. I'm 35 now. I've followed Aston Villa since I was the same age. Really, consistently following since, let's say, university level. 18 or 17 years of following this team, watching the results, watching our play, and seeing how it's affecting the atmosphere. It's tough to take. What I will say, great from the Villa fans, getting behind the team, very loud, very vocal, even at 3-1 down. 48 minutes, we conceded a third goal. 3-1 down, heads could have gone, but we kept on at them. We played well. We picked up a valuable point. And I really feel that point could be the difference here, because we have another game left. against a very informed, I'd say you could argue, the most informed team outside of maybe City. The City have been in constant form. But Crystal Palace in the last 2 months are a new team. Their young talent between Eze, Olise, Mateta, you know, they are dangerous. Young, quick, sharp. I don't want to play that team. I don't think a lot of teams want to play that team. I think with a little bit of money, dare I say it, Crystal Palace could be a real one to watch next season. They just need a couple of solidifications, but we needed that point today. We also need City to drill Tottenham tomorrow. And I don't think, I know people say, oh, there's a bogey team. I'm not too worried about this. I think they're going to walk through Tottenham. But we did what we could. We could have done more, maybe, better result. But I think right now, considering 3-1 down in 48 minutes, I'll take that. I think it was a great result. So, to recap, number one, sick of VAR. Number two, Premier League referees need to have a lot more accountability and need to be at a higher standard because this is the biggest league in the world. That's the truth. And I'm putting it up there with every league. The NFL, stuff like this is massive. The TV rights alone are monstrous and getting bigger every year. You're seeing billion-dollar investments, venture capital getting involved. This is a serious, serious time, and the Premier League needs to have a better accountability for what's happening. And third, we go again. We are Unai's army, and we march one more time, hopefully, to that top 4 place. Although, we might need just a little bit of reinforcement before that happens. Okay, JP, breathe. You'll be back next week. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us at the North End. We always want to hear from you. Please like, subscribe, comment, give us some abuse, agree with us, dislike us. I really don't care, but I just love to hear from you. Rip into me, be nice to me, marry me. Whatever you want to do it here in the comments, subscribe, or is it around here? And we'll see you again next week. One more week of the Villa.
This is the North End.